Got it. Live streaming. Check. We're good. Might as well just start. Hello, everybody. Karen here from Quantum Healing with Tina and Karen. I'm here today with my co-host Tina. Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, good.
Hi. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good. So we're doing a little quick video just to announce that we have added a session. We're calling it the Dr. P Special, and it's for our teacher, Dr. Terence Palmer. He was our mentor and teacher from the UK who taught us all about the RSR protocol and all of that and all that jazz. So yes, we are adding this to the list. We know that like for thorough protocols, which is like what we've been doing majority of the time, is there and available still. But this one is at a lower rate, a quite lower, affordable rate. It's a one rate for all. It's $50 US, and it does not include the recording. Tina and I are going to do it on our own time, and we're just going to send you our findings.
Summary of our results, of the results.
Correct.
So we're going to go through the full protocol. It's just not going to be like
in depth.
Right, like super in depth. Like when we find an entity, we're just going to clear it and not dig into why it's there, what it is, those types of questions that I normally ask. And, we usually go a lot more in depth. The RSR is a lot to like a reading of your energy and those kinds of things. But for this special offer, we're just going to go through the protocol, check for and clear all the things. So dark force entities, earthbound souls, portals, parasites, clear the chakras, check through the inner and outer etheric fields. It's just going to be strictly clearing, no in-depth reading or anything like that. So for those of you who, feel like you need a clearing and, can't afford a regular RSR, this would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totes.
The work is the same. The clearing is the same. It's just how deep we go into certain things.
Yeah. We've been getting a lot of people that are like, having issues like financial stuff. So we want to be able to accommodate and help those people out. And for those that are like really ready to dive deep and get a real like in-depth clearing, then yeah, we have our other options there that are also fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to be able to help people, more people.
Yeah, Dr. Palmer he was amazing. And he really, his whole life goal was to help people and to clear people. And the way that he actually taught us was to do clearings really quickly without getting into the specifics of things. So this is a tribute to him and his like 4-minute clearings.
Yeah. He would have really not liked our clearings.
Probably not.
He was a real straight like bazooka.
Yeah.
Like question, and you just answer it and then it's done.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It'll be a good change of pace for us as well. So yeah, if you're ready to try or someone who would benefit from it, then yeah, have them shoot us an email at quantumhealingwithtina, TENA @gmail.com. And we'll be able to answer all the questions, or go on our website, quantumhealingwithtina.com. It's all there under the RSR tab under services.
Yeah.
Anything else? Or are you going to chit chat a little bit? How are you feeling? Okay.
Chat for a minute. We had a really interesting session tonight. for a young girl who was experiencing really severe symptoms of eating disorder and panic, anxiety, those kinds of things. And we found that she was courted by this bull like entity. And not only was she courted, but it had a lot of like vulnerable teenagers courted, teenagers that are, they're insecure. They're just, going into high school, meeting with their peers. It's a different environment, those kinds of things. And they're feeling a lot of pressure to fit in. And this being was courted into over 200 different people, children, and causing a lot of disturbance and stress for them. And it was interesting because what the feeling I got, it was like an harmonic being where it was like really trying to pull them into this materialistic sense of the world where everything revolves around the way you look and the false self that you present to the world. And it was funny after I said that, you're like, yeah, well, it actually had like a gold chain on or something, right?
Had a gold chain and a nose ring. Gold. Really gold, shiny nose ring.
Yeah. Yeah. And so all of these people were like courted to this entity, and not only were they picking up on the thoughts that were being fed to them through the entity, but they were picking up on each other's thoughts. So the streams of thought, it was like they created like a hive mind where the thoughts, were just flowing in. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of information going through. I felt myself, and you told me to take my time, but I felt like I was channeling her. My body was like getting all feeling the effects, and I couldn't stop moving, or like my energy felt going.
Yeah. Yeah, like she's had the compulsion to run, like run all day long to burn as many calories as possible, and really tightly controlling what she eats and doesn't eat. And this is just sign of really how sick our society is, that our children are having to deal with something like that, and you know just grasping for any kind of control over the reality. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone here?
Mm-hmm.
There's one person, but I don't know if that's.
I have 4. Maybe I'm the one.
Oh, there's 7. Oh, hello, abstract angel.
Yes, we spoke yesterday. Where's can you leave your link, please? I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, for his art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see the art.
Yeah. How are you guys tonight? Yeah, I know. I feel it's tough growing up right now. Like it's really, really tough, especially going into teenage years. Like there's so much pressure on these kids. And social media just adds this whole new element, where like everything that happens on social media is like life or death for them.
Yeah, it's scary to
Yeah.
be here, like in the middle of that and not knowing any better than the superficial world.
Right. Yeah. Well, that is the overall agenda of these beings, is to have people really anchored in the materialist society and not accessing their spirit. It's like that's not even a thought in the minds of most people on this planet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting that we even saw like the parasites were gold and beaded and jeweled. And yeah, it was just like showing us like it really is about that, you know, like really pulling people down into those dense energies.
Yeah, totally. It's true. I've never seen that. I was just like, okay, it did have a like an Egyptian feel to it, you know. It had you know, as if I was looking at like fancy scarabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are like golden legs, golden back, and then right in the center of the back was like a red jewel, a green jewel, a blue jewel.
Really interesting.
Totally.
Yeah, that was the first time I think we've ever seen that.
Yeah, been getting that again, like another cycle of new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they're not showing up. You could send it to our email, quantumhealingwithtina@gmail.com. It didn't show up in the comments last night either. Sometimes I think, yeah, I don't think YouTube likes when you post links for some reason.
So dumb.
I don't know.
Yeah. Is there Sorry if we feel quite low. It was a pretty big session.
Well, it is midnight.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just popping on YouTube at midnight, you know.
Yeah, to tell people of our new offering. We hope that it opens up a lot more for people. I think it will. I hope so. Maybe it'll be more compelling, like to have that. You know, everyone likes a little coupon.
Yeah. There's been a lot of people who said they really need clearings but can't afford it. So, I mean, $50 is really affordable.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I don't know. I feel like I'm drawing a blank. Tina and I were talking about like the possibility of like how we had met each other or how we were linked. Because I mean, if people watch our old story, like we said, you know, we met through Facebook. I posted a blog. She saw it, she commented, and then we started talking from there. And we had like an immediate like friendship, and that escalated, and it became a really, you know, life-changing relationship for both of us. And then we're trying to wonder, we're like, well, was that like genuine, or was that like some kind of weird trauma bond via whatever?
Like SSP type trauma bonding, or even like just set up by entities
Yeah, if it was like
to
another
throw us
love
off our
bite.
path, or love bite, alien love bite.
Yeah. So we're just like thinking about that. I mean, in the end, I guess that the details really don't matter, but it's just more for curiosity's sake.
Right. Well, like I was saying, I think, you know, it's not by accident that this is showing up again. And maybe it's showing us that we need to look deeper at some of those things, like the possibility of like the SSP element and the trauma bonding that could have occurred somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I think we saw it more on a superficial level, maybe like of this physical life, you know, between our, you know, abuse and all the things, you know. But then on a much more deeper level, like in another dimension where we're, I don't know, doing some crazy soldier shit. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't have the dreams, but I mean, they probably mind wipe me pretty good. But you've had the dreams. You've seen us like on missions and stuff like that. Um, so it's a possibility.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes you wonder, like, what is organic?
Yeah. Abstract Angel says, first time I've ever watched anything like that on YouTube. It was super cool to see the healing. seeing someone heal is tremendous.
Yeah, I agree. That was really cool to witness. I was really happy to, my eyes were closed, but I was seeing it in on an energetic level of her like breaking down and her validating, like, as I'm like clearing out her field, and she's saying I could feel that. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then her saying like about her foot and how she just felt the immediate relief or whatever.
She felt her foot like the bones restructure themselves.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah. I've heard about that happening in sessions before, but I've never had a session where that actually happened. So that was really, really awesome to see that happen in real time. Yeah. And I think it requires the openness, the honesty, and the vulnerability that she had. I think a healing like that is the requirements for that healing are that openness and honesty and just being in that vulnerable space and allowing that, and for her to share that, and just seeing the power of intention and just the ability to release these things in an instant just through the intention alone. And she demonstrated that so beautifully. So beautifully.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because we complicate it. We make it out to be this like complicated thing. Like we have to think about it. We have to structure it. We have to, do all these things to set our intention and make it come true, right? There's work behind it, but it's really not. It's really just as simple as an intention. Do you see how these blips are coming through? That wasn't doing that before.
The gray lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about too was she was so brave to leave the part about the sexual abuse in. I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean, for censoring sake. But I didn't want to cut it out either, because I'm like, this has been hiding in the darkness for way too long. And just about every client we've ever had has experienced some form of sexual abuse. Why shouldn't we be talking about this? Why shouldn't we be sharing this? We should be witnessing it, but like bearing witness to it so that that person doesn't have to hold it on their own and experience that shame as if they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
It's time
on to that.
Yeah, it's time to turn the tables on that and to actually hear these stories. And yeah, it's incredible the amount of people that has happened to. So she was really, really brave.
Totally. Yeah, I was really proud of her for coming through. And you could feel, I'm really happy that we can create a safe space for people so that they can just say whatever the hell they want, knowing that we're going to be like, roll with it. It's all good. She said the funniest things, and I love that it was just, she didn't even question it. She just said it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah, it's coming from a place of authenticity. It's not, yeah. But yeah, really proud of her.
But that's why we share these sessions, so that people can see how powerful they are to do the healing too. She's just a regular person. I mean, she's obviously not regular, but she's just a person, just like everyone else. Everybody has the ability to access that power. And that's why we share, so that you can see the power that is inside of you to actually heal yourself. And not only that, but when you watch sessions like this, sometimes you will actually have a connection and receive the healing yourself. I've watched tons of hypnosis sessions, and every single one I watched, I resonated with in some way and felt like I was receiving the healing too. And that was incredibly powerful for me. And just last night, I think it was, someone commented on the Deals with the Devil session. and said that it was one of the most powerful things she had ever seen. And while she was watching it, she rescinded her own contracts and felt her whole body tingle, like really powerfully. So I'm like, yes, like that's why. This is why we do the work, and then, share it with people so that they can see that they can do it too. And it just takes that intention. It's really that simple. So,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
It's true. Saying, yeah, it takes a lot of trust. It does. You have to be able to trust and enable in order to surrender fully.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't feel safe, you're not gonna, there's no way you're gonna open up like that.
Right.
You have to have, that's why it's really important for people to get to know your practitioner.
Yeah. Well,
Take that time.
And that's another reason why we do YouTube videos, so that you guys can get to know us, and experience our energy and, know us not just on a professional level, but know who we are. I think that's important because a lot of people, healers, portray themselves as perfect or what they think of as perfect. And
Yeah,
we're
please
just,
ignore all of my healing videos.
we're just not, and I think it's important to be authentic so that people can feel safe and know that, we're just as fucked up as they are.
Right. It's just that we're aware of it.
Yeah, we're just aware of
So we
it.
can say it out loud.
Yeah.
We have no shame in saying, the fault in our own whatever.
Fault in our stars.
So thank you.
Oh, well, thanks for spreading the word.
Yeah, that's really nice. Hello. Yeah, we're taking questions. We're not planning on staying long, but if you have like a
Yeah, a couple minutes. We're tired. We have a session in the morning too.
yeah, please feel free to ask. If we don't answer it, then we will answer it write it in the comments section also if we don't answer it. Yeah.
Just hanging out on YouTube.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, when I found this work, I was amazed by it too. And that what drew me to it was the fact that you weren't depending on anyone else to do the healing for you. And I don't consider us healers. We're not healing anyone. We're just holding the space for you to heal yourself, because we're all healers, and yeah, just being the guide to create and hold that safe space for people.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, and I say this a lot, I can't do the work that we do unless, well, Tina and I can work really well together, but there's a trust that's there. And I can't go into the depths of like Satan's basement, which we have done together, and going into the dungeon, because how I see it, it's like Tina has like, she's there holding the space for me to go in, and we're being held by like a rope. You're like right at the top of the hill, and I'm just like kind of going down like slowly down the mountain. And then you pull it back up. Like I can only go as deep as our trust and our, and so it can go real far. You have to be able to trust whoever is holding the space for you, so that they know when you're not doing well. They can sense already, like if it's, you're in danger, or I'm saying danger, when you're being attacked physically, or in it. So yeah, it's helpful. You know, sometimes like we have really intense sessions and she could see it on my face that I'm kind of struggling or I'm feeling something that's uncomfortable. And, you know, there's that part of me that's trying to process what's going on for myself. And then sometimes I just need her to ask me. So I'll just be like, I'm getting attacked. Like, that's straight, you know, because then I can't say it for whatever reason. It's just like, because I'm processing it on an energetic level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trust is the most important thing. Like that was something I learned from having my first session with a practitioner. And that really helped me to attune my own abilities as a practitioner, because that was my lesson. For one of them from that session was trust, really trusting and feeling safe with your practitioner. And not only that, but trusting yourself. Trusting yourself is just as important as trusting the practitioner, because it's really all about you and learning to reconnect with your intuition and trusting it, because we're so programmed to be disconnected and not trust the information that comes to us. We're constantly denying ourselves. We're constantly betraying ourselves. We're constantly self-abandoning. And really, when you begin to make that reconnect, make that connection again, it's a process of learning how to trust yourself again.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, it goes both ways, definitely. But yeah, there's a lot of things involved. I mean, like, you just don't go to someone and be like, tell them your whole everything, you know, without having somewhat of a good rapport, you know, especially when you're going to go deep into very personal things. Because I mean, I can understand like how, you know, we are very much more alike than we are different, and we don't even realize how alike we are unless we are able to bring light to our skeletons. And that's why it was um yeah, an aha, I guess, for one of our clients to see that, yeah, you know, a lot of us have experienced sexual abuse as children or whatever. And it's like, wow, you know, I never would have thought that, because we don't talk about it. Maybe that's what Bruno means. We don't talk about Bruno.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I think we need to talk about it more so that people, because there's this pattern that's very clear. It's like all of these source players are born into these narcissistic families. They experience trauma and abuse, which then shuts down their abilities. Then you go on to attract more narcissistic and abusive relationships, and because you're just repeating the pattern. And then you become mentally ill, chronically ill, physically ill. And, you know, it's just got people like trapped in this cycle. But so many of us, you know, especially people that are attracted to us, we've all experienced like the same things on different levels. It's like you could take out the specific people and it's literally all the same things. All the same things. So yeah, I remember when I first started like putting those puzzle pieces together, like several years ago. I'm like, wait, there's these, like, because I was noticing in like the chronic illness community, there were all these links. The people that were chronically ill were the most sensitive, the most intuitive, the most traumatized. There was abuse in their background. So it's like it all relates and interconnects together.
Definitely. Here's your question. Do you have any clue of the expansiveness of the astral? Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
No, it's like something is in my window. Okay. Okay, spreading out the. It's fine. Sorry. Let me start again. Do you have any clue of the expansiveness of the astral? And what comes after the soul trap if not agreed to? Okay, that's question one. The expansiveness of the astral. Well, we've seen a lot of, I guess, like when you think of the quantum field, it's quite vast and large, and anything is possible. And therefore, I would say that the astral is in ways part of this quantum field. So it's a lot. We've explored a lot, let's say, like in sessions. We've traveled to different spaces in this, I don't know what you want to call it, space. We'll call it space. Because it is space. It's just all out there. We go in different dimensions too, parallel lives. We go a lot of places, I'd say. What else?
Well, I think there are layers to the astral, and from what I've seen from sessions is that there's layers and levels. So depending on your frequency when you leave the body, that dictates where you go.
Right.
So for example, if you've been a really negative person and been engaged in activities like murder or whatever, and you have no remorse for that, you might be in the lower astral. Like you won't be able to make it past there because your frequency is not high enough to get past there. And a lot of the souls that this happens to, they spend a long time there, either because they're not remembering their light, they're not remembering who they are. And the way I've seen other practitioners describe it, it's like the souls go through the levels of these dimensions on the way up to the higher heavens if they make it there. But it can take a really long time after the soul leaves the body. And yeah.
Saying what comes after the soul trap.
What comes after the soul trap? I don't know what that means.
Where'd it go? Where does the trap end? These are things that we're not sure. We've seen it-ish in session. But I can't say that it's something that we can just describe like that. I don't think it's going to be anything that you can even imagine, to be honest. Which is why, like, we're trying to research that now on how to get out. I don't think there's a list of things you can do to get out apart from really clearing your vessel and ridding of your, like letting go of all your attachments to this matrix. And that includes belief systems and everything, even the trap itself. So, because they're going to use these manipulations against you. I'm assuming because this is how we got trapped in the first place. They manipulate you to stay, to come back, or whatever. So until you can really get rid of all the stuff that you're holding on to, your consciousness and actually the human part of it, like via your traumas and your vulnerabilities, healing would be the best way because they don't teach you how to heal. That's pretty much, no one is taught how to cope, how to do things in a healthier way, because that is also part of the programming. So you want to go in the unconventional route, I would say. That would be a good thing. That's why usually like when I resist it, I like to go there because I know it's a programming within me that is not wanting to do it. So that's how I navigate where I need what I need to do next. So if I'm resisting healing or I'm resisting talking about what's bothering me, then I need to talk about it so I can release it because you're holding this in your body, your vessel. Um,
I
so
think our
yeah,
best bet is to, it's really going to be based on our frequency and the level of consciousness we're holding when we leave the body.
yeah. Tina's really good at concising what I say, like after her. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about the theory of most of the entities, reptilians, greys, succubus, spirit guides, being controlled by an AI hive mind source to trick us into eventually reincarnating? Well, we've seen, I mean, in our work, we do see the vast array of these beings. Whether they are true or not, something, there's multiple levels of the negativity, if you will. Um,
Do you think they're all hooked into one AI hive mind source?
I don't know.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. I think we have to be open to the possibility of yes and no at the same time. Um, yeah. I think that's why we get so caught up in trying to find like the one truth or the one answer when there's so many, and we have to be open to that.
Yeah.
We have to be open to having to debunk some of our belief systems,
Yeah.
like our hardcore belief systems. So
Yeah.
again, like yes, we are in a space of like, okay, the soul trap stuff, but I don't want to attach too much to the soul trap stuff because I don't want it to take away from my experience here, my quality of life here in the now, because I'm not experiencing a soul trap right. I mean, the exit point right now,
Right.
which is
But
a
while
trap.
you're here, you're doing your best to, raise your consciousness, your frequency, heal your wounds, release your attachments so that the possibility of you getting tricked to reincarnate back here is a lot less
Correct.
than it
Yes. If
wouldn't be
I were
other.
to just be upset that there's a trap and not do the work, and then I die and they use all of my manipulations against me, you know,
Yeah.
or my list that I said, like, this is how I'm going to go. And then it's not true. Like, they're like, yeah, let's use that list. Go through that door, like you're saying. And then you're back in on the conveyor belt. Like, no.
I think there's different ways people get tricked too. I don't think it's the same for everyone. We've seen like how souls are getting recycled. Like, for example, in the session we posted yesterday, what was happening to her upon birth? Like, she was giving birth and a
Mm,
dark portal opened and her soul would go into the baby and then she would have to live out that life. And then that would happen every time she would give birth. So she was being recycled through this lifetimes
right.
in that way. We've seen other people who, like the other session with in deals with the devil, where she was trapped, her soul aspect was trapped by technology, by the reptilians and Atlantis. And then the her soul coding was changed so that she couldn't exit out of here. And she could only, they made her think that she had a choice in what body she wanted to go into next, but she really didn't. And they would put her into these traumatic lives and just keep recycling her that way. So I don't think that everyone is trapped in the same way. I don't think there's a
There's,
single soul trap.
yeah, there's multiple, I would say. because we've also seen like them like in the other ones, like where they're so highly traumatized, and then like in a war scene, for example, and the soul is so degraded that it oozes out, and the entities get it and fly away with it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they put them back in another body right away.
Right.
Like,
And as
you know,
yeah, and as far as going into the tunnel of light, so to speak, we've only seen that once, where the tunnel of light led into the lower astral.
oh yeah.
Um, but like even when I saw, well, Karen saw for me when I was planning this life and like talking to the council and all those things, um, you know, these entities that are like helping us plan out our lifetimes aren't necessarily all evil. I think we do have some connection with them. It's just that they're working for this system, you know,
Right.
and
That's a disclaimer.
right. And I think until we wake up to the fact that that's happening, that just continues to happen.
Right. We had a client that was an angel, or you know, I'll call angel, that was working in the 11th dimension of this matrix, but it was the heaven matrix, part of the matrix,
Right.
and was there to help and assist. So it's not a deceptive thing. They're here sometimes to assist in order to help us remember from our understanding. That's what it was. But I feel the access point to them we need to strengthen again, discernment again, all the time, to feel through it, to see. So yeah, I'm sure that there are imposter guides for sure. But there are also some that exist here that we really have to um, listen to, feel through. It's not just, yeah, we have to heal a lot of our crap so that we can discern the real, you know, authentic guide.
Yeah.
um I think it's also relative. Like the more you clear out of your vessel, the easier it will be for you to feel, and the less that you do, then the more that you're going to hear the you know, the fake ones, the false ones, because of how much you're carrying.
Right.
It's a um yeah, it's like a vibrational match there.
Yeah.
Could some of the beings seen be projections, holographic projections, AI projections? Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of the above. I think everything that you're asking, like things like, can it be this? Can it be that? Yes. Be open to the possibility that yes, absolutely. If you're creating that or that idea in your mind, yes,
Then it exists.
it exists.
Because you're not really creating it. It's already there. You're just pulling it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything and anything is possible.
Yeah. I've seen holograms in clearings.
Yeah.
They're just there to kind of like continue the process of the trauma, or especially like targeted people, and because it's playing into the belief system to continue to believe, so that they don't, like, if it's really out of there, if they're gonna bank on the programming and beliefs to keep replaying it, so it's hard
Yeah.
to get rid of.
Yeah. Great questions, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I'm tired. How are you feeling?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm I was
Good.
watching our video. I'm okay. I mean, considering that was a pretty hefty emergency we just did, but I just hope that the gal gets what she needs from it and
Yeah, I hope
goes
so
on
too.
up. Yeah, because it's devastating when we have to do kids, and you know, as a parent myself, it's like hard to, you know, you don't want them to suffer, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's like hard, you know, because you have to let them suffer a little bit, you know, so that they can soothe themselves and whatever. But then it's like, I guess you just have to hold a safe space for them to be able to communicate with you if there's
Yeah.
anything, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's also another trap. Parenting is a trap.
Yeah, and what I noticed this common thread too amongst a lot of women who are in this group of, traumatized and, all of that, all the things, right? Like they just intuitively know that they're not having children in this lifetime, that it's just not, because then they will be attached here and possibly have a hard time leaving.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us on
Yeah, we
this
have a session tomorrow morning at 11, so which is
Thursday evening.
that's not when our shop usually opens, just to say. Our shop usually opens around 1, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So
But yes, if anyone needs a session, just email us at quantumhealingwithtina@gmail.com. And the $50 session offer is a really good offer in the name of Dr. Palmer. He was awesome.
yeah, totally.
So if anyone needs that, and like we said, it's not like an in-depth reading. It's just we're going in, clearing the entities, and that's it. Like that's it. But
Totally. The work gets
hi,
done
Coco.
either way.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. I hope you guys get good night's sleep too. And we'll come on again whenever.
Yeah. Soon. I know it's like we either don't do videos for like 2 weeks or we do like 3 back to back, like.
And then we're like, okay, bye.
But it's literally the way we live our life. It's dependent on our energy. Everything we do is dependent on our energy. So if we're having a really tough like couple weeks, it's going to be hard. If we're feeling really good like we have the past few days, then it's easier to get stuff out. But it's like when you live in the flow, that's just, you're not really held by a hardcore schedule. Like you have to do this and this on this day and this time, it's like you just work with how you're feeling and working intuitively. And I think we work best that way than by forcing ourselves to do things that we're not energetically aligned with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right.
So sometimes you'll see us 3 days in a row and sometimes you won't see us for a couple weeks. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But
right.
anyway, we appreciate you guys and hope you have a good night and sweet dreams and protect yourselves. And we'll see you next time. Big love.
Peace.